Welcome to Yin Yoga for Better Breathing, Week 1. This series is designed to target the rib cage and upper spine and bring greater freedom to the breath. This class will include gentle postures held for long periods, about 2 minutes. All you will need is a yoga mat, a towel to use as a prop, and the ability to breathe. This sequence is suitable for all levels, with plenty of stages and modifications offered for the postures. Expect a calming, centering practice filled with juicy twists, forward folds, and guided breath work. Please find a comfortable cross-legged seated position. First, I would like to speak a little bit about the idea of breathing better. In yoga practice, there are many different breathing exercises and many different breath-based cues. Breathe this way, breathe that way, deepen the breath, elongate the breath, hold the breath, inhale to a count, exhale to a count. For this series of classes, I advise you to disregard all of these things. Trust in your body's ability to breathe correctly on its own. Completely let go of control of the muscles of breathing. Allow the breath to breathe itself. A cue you will hear frequently during this class is to relax the skin of your ribs, allow the skin to slide up and down your torso. This cue is aimed at getting effort out of your breath to return it to natural. Take a minute to see how much effort you can get out of your own breathing right now. Now that you maybe have an idea of what your natural breath feels like, let's mix it up a little bit. There are some breathing exercises that can tire out the muscles of breathing to encourage them to relax naturally. Every time you are winded and have to catch your breath, notice that you are breathing automatically. Let's practice an exercise that can help you experience this effect. My favorite position to practice this in is hero pose, with the shins folded underneath the thighs. Sitting cross-legged is also acceptable. Make fists with your hands and bring your knuckles together at the center of your chest. The tighter you make your fists, the better. For this exercise, we're aiming for quick, forceful inhales and exhales. This will help to break up stagnation and tension in the muscles of breathing before we get into the yin postures. In this exercise, you inhale quickly to fill your lungs and exhale quickly to empty your lungs. During your inhales, you straighten your arms out to the sides. During your exhales, you bring your fists back to almost touching. Try not to hit yourself in the chest or smash your fists together. We will go for 2 minutes. Begin. 20 more seconds. Stop the exercise and return to your normal conversational breath. Now for the postures. For our first position, we are going to do some cat and cows. Please come onto your hands and knees with your arms and upper legs straight up and down. Make your knees hip-width distance. Line up the middle of your wrists with your outer shoulders. Exhale, round your spine for cat pose. Press your hands down and forward. Bring your chin towards your chest and your sitting bones down. Inhale, reverse the curve of your spine for cow pose. Press your hands down and back, move your shoulders down your back and your chest in between your shoulders. Gaze at the point in between your eyebrows and keep your gaze there for the duration of the exercise. Go at your own pace and let the length of your natural breath guide the movement instead of the movement guiding the breath for 2 minutes. Exhale to cat. Inhale to cow. After your next exhale in cat, return to a neutral spine. Dragon lunge. Step your right foot forward outside of your right hand. Move your left knee back until you feel a lengthening on the top of your left thigh. Press your hands and shoulders down strong, round your back like cat pose. Make your upper body active, lower body passive, 2 minutes each side. Carefully step your right foot back and return to a tabletop position. Take a breath. Step your left foot forward outside of your left hand. Move your right knee back until you feel a lengthening on the top of your right thigh. Press your hands and shoulders down strong, round your back. Make your upper body active, lower body passive. 2 minutes. Step your left leg back to tabletop position and take a breath. Then transition into child's pose with your thighs together and your arms out in front of you. 1 minute. For turned child's pose, crawl your hands over to the right off of your mat. Crawl them far enough so that you feel a lengthening in your left side body. Straighten and press out actively through your arms. Relax your hips down, especially your left. Create length all the way from your left hip out through your left arm. Relax the skin of your torso and allow it to slide freely. Release gripping in the breath. 2 minutes. Crawl your hands back to center. Then crawl your hands over to the left off of your mat. Crawl them far enough so that you feel a lengthening in your right side body. Press out actively through your arms. Relax your hips down, especially your right. Create length all the way from your right hip out through your right arm. Relax the skin of your torso and allow it to slide freely. 2 minutes. Make your way back to a centered child's pose. Then bring your torso to vertical. Please make your way to standing. Eagle arms. Bring your feet as close together as is comfortable and your arms out into a T position. Swing your right arm underneath your left and either hold your shoulders with your hands, bring the backs of your hands together, or bring your palms together. Move your shoulders forward and down, elbows down. Lift the skin of your back ribs and kick down through your outer heels. 2 minutes. With your next inhale, uncross your arms and reach them overhead. Reach up, lift ribs away from hips. Exhale, lower your arms by your sides. Return your arms to a T position. Swing your left arm underneath your right and either hold your shoulders with your hands, bring the backs of your hands together, or bring your palms together. Move your shoulders forward and down, elbows down. Lift the skin of your back ribs and kick down through your outer heels. 2 minutes. With your next inhale, uncross and reach your arms overhead. Exhale, lower arms by sides. Standing forward fold. Bring your feet to hip width distance. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees enough to take the stretch out of the backs of your thighs. Place your palms or fingertips on the ground. Relax your arms. Relax your entire upper body. Ground all four corners of your feet, but especially kick down through your outer heels. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears gently to create length in your side body. We will be here for a while, so get comfortable. Relax the skin of your ribs and breathe naturally. 2 minutes. With an inhale, return to standing and reach your arms overhead. Exhale, arms by sides. Grab your towel and fold it like so. Once along the vertical line, then lie it down on the ground and make a short roll, rolling the towel along the vertical line. Once you have your rolled towel, place it horizontally along the short side of your mat towards the top of your mat for our first rebound. What we are going for here is to lie back across the towel with the towel just underneath the shoulder blades. Take some time to find a good position where your chest, collarbones, and shoulders feel expansive. Take your legs wide and your arms out into a T position. Rebounding in yin yoga is an important practice as it helps us to feel the effects of the postures before jumping directly into more. Rest, rebound for 2 minutes. Slowly bend your knees and roll to your right. Make your way into a seated position. Move your towel aside, and if you can keep your towel rolled like this, it will be helpful for the next 3 videos in this series. Otherwise, remember how you fold it, as I won't explain it in future videos. For the next posture, we will be doing deer twist. Bring your left shin parallel to the front edge of your mat. Bring your inner right thigh to point down and move your right knee back behind you. Continue to move your right knee back until you maybe feel some length on the top of your right thigh. Then take your hands to the ground out in front of you and crawl your hands over to the left to get a twist in your rib cage. To deepen the sensation, you may want to crawl your hands out a bit more. 2 minutes. To transition to the second side, bring your right leg forward. Switch sides. Bring your right shin parallel to the front edge of your mat. Bring your left inner thigh to point down and move your left knee back behind you. Continue to move your left knee back until you maybe feel some length on the top of your left thigh. Then take your hands to the ground out in front of you and crawl your hands over to get a twist in your rib cage. To deepen the sensation, maybe crawl your hands out a bit more. 2 minutes. Slowly make your way out of the pose and come into a tabletop position with your knees hip-width distance. Puppy pose. Keep your thighs vertical and walk your arms out long like child's pose. Either keep your head up and in line with your spine, gaze down, or bring your forehead to the ground. Lift your armpits, upper arms up, lower your chest in between your shoulders. Press forward and down with your hands, reach your outer hips back. Release, gripping in the breath. 2 minutes. To come out of the pose, walk your hands back into a tabletop position. Take a breath. Then make your way down to your belly. Sphinx pose. Prop yourself up on your elbows and forearms with your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. Move your legs back one at a time to free up the skin of your upper thighs. Let your head hang, relax your neck and your upper back. Relax everything between your hips and ribs. Anywhere you feel compression in your back, relax the skin of the area and allow the skin to flow up the back with your inhalations. 2 minutes. To transition to the next pose, eagle arms on the ground, bring your right arm underneath your left. Bring your left arm to the right, both palms facing up. Bring your forehead to the ground. For more sensation, you may want to curl your toes under and shift your torso forward over your shoulders. Hold for 2 minutes. Second side. Lift your torso. Lift your left arm and bring it underneath your right. Lower your forehead back to the ground. 2 minutes. Slowly make your way to a tabletop position. Grab your towel and set it up for your next rebound. then lie down on your back. Breathe and reflect on the effects of the postures for 2 minutes. Carefully remove the towel and continue lying on your back. Banana pose. For the next posture, keep your hips rooted in place. Move both legs over to the right off of your mat as far as they will go. Stack your left ankle on top of your right. Again, keep your hips rooted in place and move your upper body to the right of your mat. Bring your arms overhead and take hold of your opposite elbows. Allow your entire side body to lengthen and the breath to breathe itself. 2 minutes. Second side. Uncross your legs and return them to center. Return your upper body to center. Keep hips rooted. Move both legs over to the left off of your mat as far as they will go. Stack your right ankle on top of your left. Move your upper body to the left. Bring your arms overhead, take hold of your opposite elbows. Allow your entire side body to lengthen and the breath to breathe itself. 2 minutes. Return your legs and arms to center. Lie on your back for a moment. Eye of the needle. Bend your knees, bring the soles of your feet to the ground. Cross your left ankle over your right knee. Flex your ankle gently, which means bring your toes towards your knees. This is yin yoga, so you're only looking for minimal effort, only enough to protect your left knee. If you feel your left knee begin to get tweaked, flex your left ankle more. Otherwise, soften your ankle. Bring your left arm inside of the gap of your legs and interlace your fingers in front of your right shin. Relax your hips, relax your arms, soften the features of your face. 2 minutes. Second side. Uncross your legs and return the soles of your feet to the ground. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Flex your ankle gently. Bring your right arm inside of the gap of your legs and interlace your fingers in front of your left shin. Relax your hips, relax your arms. Soften the features of your face. 2 minutes. Uncross your legs. Return the soles of your feet to the ground. Roll to your right side, then make your way to a tabletop position. Cow face. From a tabletop position, lift your left leg parallel to the ground. Cross your left shin over your right shin. Turn your feet out like kickstands. Stay here or lower your hips to the ground in between your feet and bring your torso vertical. Stack your knees. Since your left leg is on bottom, lift your left arm overhead, bend your elbow. Lift your right arm overhead and take hold of your left elbow. Lift up actively through your left elbow, keep lifting, root both sit bones down. Lift your rib cage away from your hips. Everything from your ribs to your hips, relax. 2 minutes. Second side. Release your arms, shift forward to a tabletop position. Uncross your legs. Lift your right leg parallel to the ground. Cross your right shin over your left shin. Turn your feet out like kickstands. Stay here or lower your hips to the ground in between your feet and bring your torso vertical. Stack your knees. Since your right leg is on bottom, lift your right arm overhead, bend your elbow. Lift your left arm overhead and take hold of your right elbow. Lift up actively through your right elbow, keep lifting. Root both sit bones down. Lift your rib cage away from your hips. Everything from your ribs to your hips, relax. 2 minutes. Release your arms, shift forward to a tabletop position. Uncross your legs. Make your way to a cross-legged seated position with your right leg crossed in front of your left. Seated twist. Bring the back of your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Bring your right hand to the ground behind you. Gaze past your right shoulder. Lower your chin towards your right shoulder. 2 minutes. Untwist, return to center. Switch the cross of your legs. Bring the back of your right hand to the outside of your left knee. Bring your left hand to the ground behind you. Gaze past your left shoulder. Lower your chin towards your left shoulder. 2 minutes. Untwist, return to center. East stretch prep. Extend your legs out in front of you. Bring your elbows to the ground behind you, elbows under shoulders, prop yourself up. Press your shoulders down, elbows down and out. Lift your rib cage away from your hips. Everything below your ribs relax completely. 2 minutes. Press yourself back up to seated. Grab your towel and set it up once more. Lie down over your towel, open collarbones, open chest. Two minutes. Carefully remove your towel and set it aside. Lie down on your back for final resting pose. In Yin Yoga, the final resting posture is called Star Pose. It is different than Shavasana in that you bring the legs wide and the arms to a T position. Make yourself as large and as open as you care to. Rest and receive the benefits of practice. Stay here for as long as you like. See you in week 2.